All right, I think we're live, episode number 62, as we sort out where we're halfway to, which is 124. So you got that. I guess, we should start with the fact that the Illini win their first NCAA tournament game since 2013. Hopefully they don't get hosed in round two like they did that year. You have to hope that doesn't happen. But
And now we got an instant replay, right? So
we do, and we can, sit at the monitor for an hour and a half, as the officials do typically.
Down. Sure,
that's very good for the game, definitely. So as we discuss this game, I guess we'll start. Drexel came in; they were like a 6 seed, I believe, in the Colonial Athletic Tournament. They got a pretty lucky draw, for being honest. They played an 8 seed Elon in the championship. I didn't think that they would cause very many issues for Illinois. I think Underwood was right before the game saying that this is like more of an Ohio State type with their length in terms of the lineup. Nothing to do with talent or whatever, but like they had a stretch 5 type. Butler was kind of that at 6'8" or whatever. He did a double-double, but Illinois just physically dominant. They didn't give them anything defensively. Obviously, Illinois is a lot better team. I mean, we know that it's a 1 versus a 16. There's a reason that it never happens except for the one time. But right. I'm just glad they went out there. They took care of business. They didn't mess around with them, and they dominated.
Early, I was kind of like, what is going on? They couldn't find themselves offensively very well. But, started feeding Kofi. Guys started hitting shots. Trent started knocking down some shots. Io, I believe that he only had like 2 points in the first half, something weird. But then he just turned it on along with the rest of the team. And I know we differentiated on player of the game. I went with Trent Frazier. I think that the way he's been shooting the ball is really going to help this team. He had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. But most importantly, he shut down Cameron Winter. Cameron Winter went 3 of 13 from the field, only had 6 points, and he forced 3 turnovers against him. So I thought that was huge for the Illini, and getting off defensively was really good. Underwood talked about it afterwards, and he said, I thought our guys were focused on defense, was really good, took Winter out of his comfort zone. Trent Frazier has a tendency to do that to people. And moving forward, guard play, like we always talk about, is really essential. And if Trent can shut down one of the guards and the other guys can just handle the other guards, I think it's going to be huge moving forward.
And you look at it right now, if Miller plays that way, which I thought he had a good, efficient game. If Io plays that way, Io controlled the game, was terrific defensively, 3 steals. He had 11 rebounds as well, so he's stealing Kofi's rebounds. That's why Kofi doesn't get double-doubles. But anyway, you have Miller playing efficiently. You have Frazier locking down defensively. You have Io doing the same. There's very few teams that have guards like Illinois does. And the fact that you have Curbelo off the bench, I don't think there's a team in the country right now that has 4 guards like that are that good. I mean, Baylor has – I guess you could say Baylor has 4. I think Baylor's right there with Illinois in terms of the guards, but – yeah, that's the most important thing in March is guard play, and Illinois has that, and they needed that. And the best thing about them is that they have a 7-foot, 290 guy underneath that can score and dominate the paint.
Yeah, and that's what he's going to have to do next game too. But it's really nice to see guys like Miller playing well. Curbelo's really coming into his own. Miller had 10 points, was 4 or 5 from the field. I think the only shot he missed was a 3. Missed 1 3. Illinois only took 7 threes this game, 7, which is crazy.
I mean, Trent hit a long 2 that I thought was a 3. Yeah, the funny thing about that is Harlan said Frazier for 3, no, it's a 2, and then Frazier shoots a 3. He said Frazier for 2, no, it's a 3.
Yeah. Frazier was putting up the 3 after he made that. I'm like, bro, you're on the line. We're shot in basketball, but hey, it went in. So, but Trent's been really good off the dribble too. Going to the hole, which he didn't do a lot all season. He's starting to do that more. A little dribble jumper. It's nice to see him kind of coming into it, and it's nice to have these. Frazier and DeMonte are the only two guys that are still left from that freshman class, and it's nice that they get to experience this. Trent said something about just walking into the gym and seeing March Madness on the floor meant so much to him. I don't think these guys are coming back. I don't think there's any chance they come back from what we've heard. So for them to be able to experience this as seniors, it's really good. And like I said, the freshmen are going to be a huge part in this. Curbelo had that crazy pass between the dude's legs, and just the way he's controls the game and gets to the hoop. It's really good. Grandison had a really good game. He was 4 or 5 from the field, 8 points. Getting him going is going to be huge. He had a nice little cut to the hoop. and Illinois cut well yesterday. So, excuse me.
He also scored on that horrible alley-oop by Io.
Yeah, he did. He did. So, but Kofi, nobody's going to be able to handle Kofi for a while, I think. He was 8 of 11 from the field. He had a few weird hook shots that wasn't great touch, but you're going to take the good with the bad with Kofi. I thought DeMonte is getting a lot more aggressive offensively. He seemed to be going to the hoop more. Just kind of had a DeMonte game, 4 points, 4 rebounds. I don't think he took a 3. He did take 1 3, missed it.
I think he took one from near the top, and then he had that long 2 at the end of the shot clock on one of those possessions. But what I've noticed, and I think the big factor with Io getting hurt, is everybody seems to be not only being more aggressive, but creating their own opportunities. Like early in the season, before Io got hurt, all that stuff, we didn't see Curbelo going as much to the rack and trying to score as he has been. We didn't see Miller going off the dribble at all. We saw him just taking threes. And we haven't seen DeMonte go to the rim like ever until the last couple of weeks. Yep. So I think the Io injury was probably the best thing that's ever happened to this team.
Yeah. My only worry is the way that Miller handles the ball. He seems to handle it very openly when he's dribbling. I'm afraid that, teams like Loyola Chicago are going to be able to slap that away more. Io even does it sometimes. But Miller, when he puts the ball on the floor and he's dribbling with his right hand, it seems like the ball gets knocked out a lot. So,
well, the good thing is he's not going to be dribbling that much.
And hopefully he's not dribbling that much. The only guy that really just struggled in this game was Georgie. 1 of 6 from the field, only 3 rebounds. He was not good. But you know what?
He was a little feeling himself from the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, he was huge in that Ohio State game. So I'm not going to hold it against him. He's still kind of black hole-ish. He gets the ball, doesn't pass it out very often. I think he might have kicked it out twice. But if those little baby hooks that he has are falling, everybody loves it. When they're not falling, it doesn't look good. But it is what it is. Illinois, you face a 16 seed, you want to put them away, you want to make a point, and that's what Illinois did. Kofi's got to figure out the free throws, hopefully, because I think Hack Kofi's going to be coming. He only took 5 this game, which is surprising. But Illinois missed 4, and he missed 3 of them. So got to clean that up a little bit. I don't know how you fix that. It's probably too late. But I feel like if Kofi starts seeing them go in, he's so much better at the free throw line. So hopefully they can, hopefully he can just start making some.
Kofi is at 54% from the line. Yeah. Krutwig is 68.
Yeah, I will take – my big thing is Kofi making front ends. I'll take the front ends of 1-and-1s from Kofi all the time. But I don't know. Like I said, I think if he sees it go in, he doesn't have a bad shot. We've talked about this before. Yep. He's got nice rotation. I'd like to see him bang one off the backboard one time just because everything seems short with him when he's shooting free throws.
The good thing for him is that I think he's had more that have rimmed out this year than ones that are just completely off.
Yeah.
Like he had a couple yesterday that rimmed out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's got a nice touch for a big
tomorrow's going to be a step up for him. Like Krutwig is a little bit bigger than Butler, and he's a much more skilled player.
Yeah. So, yep.
He may not look like it, but he's good.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't have anything else on Drexel. I mean, like I said, good win. I expect to see this team shoot more threes probably against better competition, but
they can still control the paint.
They did what they're supposed to do.
They want to.
So, yeah.
And the good thing about this team is that, you could win without having to have a ton from Iowa and Kofi. Like you could have 10 or 15 from each of them, and you can still win the game.
Right. And that's now that they're balanced. Yeah, now that they're balanced more.
Curbelo also needs to put the headband back on.
Yeah, what is up with that?
I think he'd play a lot better with the headband. He wasn't making shots yesterday. Those mid-rangers.
He's killing your brand.
He's got to put it back on. I hope he does.
That was so weird. You think they lost it on the trip to Indy?
He had a couple of them.
He had it during the Big Ten tournament.
He had it during the Big Ten tournament. I mean, come on.
Maybe he lost. Did they change hotel rooms or something? I don't know. That was weird.
He better put it back on.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the fro is too big to not have a headband.
That's right. Right.
Come on.
It looked funny. So, So Loyola Chicago beats Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Pretty easily, honestly. I mean, they started off slow and then took the game over.
But yeah, so Illinois versus Illinois matchup. Illinois opened at a 6.5 point favorite. It's moved to 7 now, so people are high on the Illini.
They covered yesterday pretty easily.
Yeah, they did.
22.5, won by 29.
Yeah, but Loyola Chicago, they're an experienced team. They've been here before. It's a scary 8 matchup, I think. Yeah,
it is. I mean, I wish that my guys weren't playing my real team in the second round. I don't love that. But you look at the other 8-9s. I mean, they're all pretty hard except for
looked really good yesterday.
I told you Wisconsin's experience is going to work in the tournament. North Carolina looked lost yesterday, and Brad Davison was like dominating the game.
Yeah.
Which when does that ever happen? The only way he dominates the game is by taking someone's legs out.
Yeah.
But the Big Ten didn't have a very good showing yesterday.
No,
not Purdue. Good at all.
I was pretty sure somebody called that North Texas Purdue game.
I was so confident in Purdue. Man.
Yeah. Would you have them going to the Elite 8 probably?
No, I had them losing in the Sweet 16.
Losing to Baylor.
Now we could see Villanova get into the Sweet 16. How about that? After everyone trashed them, so they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And,
Gillespie gets to come back if they win another one.
And we could talk about how Ohio State almost went from beating Illinois in the Big Ten championship to losing to Oral Roberts in the first round.
Yeah. Not a good start. 3-3 for the Big Ten, I think, to start.
So they got 6 teams left after 9 to start. Michigan State completely choked. So today you got Maryland, Michigan, Iowa, and is that it playing? Yeah, Maryland, Michigan, Iowa.
6 playing.
Right. So they could easily be down to 5 if UConn beats Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. And the Pac-12 is what? Almost undefeated, right? Are they undefeated?
What, 1-0? Good for the Pac-12.
Well, UCLA and Oregon State.
Yeah, I guess if you count the playing game.
We're counting Illinois, or we're counting the Big Ten being 3-3 Michigan State, right?
Yeah. Depends on who you talk to, I guess.
Illinois destroyed Ohio State's will to live. They would have done that if they would have beaten them by 30 like it looked like they were going to.
Yeah, they should have beat them by 30. But
Dwayne Washington waited a game, or he was too early on having a big-time game.
Yep. He should have held back in the Big Ten championship.
Definitely. I mean, why not? Loyola Chicago, though. I mean, this team, they're number 1 in defensive efficiency in the country, which is just giving up a lot of – they're good defensively.
Do you think it's because they're in
it's
the
a
MVC?
little bit skewed. Yeah,
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That definitely helps, but they're also very good. If you do it for an entire season –
right.
But I mean, they have a weird resume. Like they've had some really questionable games. They went to overtime with Southern Illinois. They lost to Indiana State, which I'm not saying those teams are bad because they're not, but definitely some questionable games.
Not good. Yeah.
They lost to Wisconsin by 14. They lost to Richmond. So, and they lost that game to Drake.
And Krutwig is their big player, and to have Kofi match up against him, I don't know how much he'll be able to do. I know he's got really good footwork. The thing is, Kofi's going to have to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
Because I think if Georgie gets in there, that Krutwig will just poop all over him, as they say.
Yeah.
So you look at the Georgia Tech game, and Williamson had 21. Krutwig only had 10 in that game. So
I mean, they have shooters.
yeah. And so if our guards can lock down like they have been, we were talking about it a little bit before. It seems like either Miller or Frazier will be on Norris. You think Norris will probably get Trent, right? Because he's the better player.
I assume, even though I don't think Norris even does he even shoot that much? I know he's got a good shot, but I feel like he doesn't shoot very much.
Norris was 4 of 7 from 3 yesterday, and Clemens was 3 of 8 from 3. So Loyola Chicago took 27 threes yesterday.
I mean, yeah, Norris was 5 for 9 from 3 against Drake.
Yeah.
So he can shoot. Yeah, it'll definitely be Trent, I'm assuming.
Trent will be on him. Miller will be on Clemens. He's 6'1". And then I assume Io will be on Lucas Williamson, who, like I said, scored 21 yesterday. So Io should probably be able to D up on him a little bit.
They just got to suffocate them, man.
Yeah.
Do what they did to Drexel. I know it's a better team, but they didn't give them anything.
And just like with Ohio State and suing, they do have a 6'7" forward. So Grandison and DeMonte are going to be stuck trying to guard him. I don't know how good he is offensively.
The game that I did for Loyola Chicago, Drake, he had like 25 points, but I don't think he's really done very much overall.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of guys that like occasionally have a big time game.
Yeah.
Like Norris only averaged 8 points, but he's hit 8 threes in the last 2 games, or 9 threes in the last 2 games. So
when you shoot 27 of them, you're going to make some of them, right?
You would assume so, yeah. And I don't think that Illinois is going to give them as many looks as Georgia Tech may have, which Georgia Tech has a good defense, but zone at times you can get into the corner, 3-2 zone, you can get into the corner and get a nice look.
Yeah, so like I was telling you, I had a dream last night that Illinois was down 35-6 to start this game. Hopefully I don't have deja vu. Illinois is playing at 11:15 on a Sunday. Sister Mary Catherine's going to be in the stands or whatever her name is. You just got to hope. That's my only worry too. We've seen Illinois play at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not been pretty.
I'm not worried about that.
I am, but
they played at 12 yesterday.
Yeah, 12's an hour or more.
Yeah.
It's an hour more.
I don't love the time.
I don't know why. Like, how come they're playing? So Illinois has its own time slot, basically, and then the next game's at 2 something or 1 something.
So now if Illinois loses, everybody's going to see it and make fun of us. Great.
Yeah, everybody's going to be watching. And then they have they're jamming 6 games in between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So
what do you expect? I mean, come on, the NCAA is stupid.
Exactly.
I'm sure CBS has something to do with that too. But here's a big portion of this game: get out and run.
Yeah.
Loyola Chicago is right there with Drexel in terms of tempo. Yeah. Drexel's 350th, Loyola Chicago is 343rd. If you can turn this into a bit of a track meet, they're not going to beat you. I mean, that's just run the floor. That's what Illinois can do. And that's why everyone loves this team and thinks this team's going to make a big run. It's probably going to end up jinxing them, but we'll find out. They can beat you in every single way possible. They can beat you by shooting. They can beat you by controlling the paint. They can beat you by running the floor. They can beat you by suffocating you defensively. They've proven they can win every single way. But maybe they're just a little bit too hot. You never know.
You never know.
The hot factor. I mean, Loyola Chicago, they've won 17 of 18. So
they're just as hot.
Yeah, but that loss was to Drake by 1 in overtime where they only scored 50 points. And their wins, Indiana State, Northern Iowa, Valpo, Bradley, Missouri State, Evansville, Drake. Valpo,
Yeah.
Southern Illinois, Indiana State, Drake, Georgia Tech. So, yeah.
Okay.
The best team they beat during that
Do
time
we
was
know what
35th.
refs we have for tomorrow yet? Do we
It
have
can't
the
be
do we have
good.
the JUCO refs that we had against Drexel, or
Is that what they were?
I don't know.
Let's get them in there.
I assumed they were replacement refs.
I thought they were going to be bad, but they weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad.
Well, I think that what made me
they really let them play, which you don't usually see in the NCAA tournament.
But I think what made us say something about the refs early via text message was Kofi didn't call for BS off the ball right away.
Yeah.
And the old guy called it. And
I felt like Iowa was getting hammered every time he went to the hoop, but I think Iowa went over and talked to him a little bit. He kind of pulled at Garza, but
letting them play favors Illinois because they're inconsistent shooting free throws, and the guys that go to the line are Io and Kofi, and they don't make them that much. I mean, Io's been pretty good overall, I would say, better than we probably think, to be honest. But I mean, obviously, the greatest free throw shooter in the history of this program is Jacob Grandison. So.
Right, yeah, behind Grandison, Io I think is leading the team. So,
and he goes 5%.
So. Yeah, and that's what I think. Grandison, you can't even count Grandison because he shot like 14 free throws.
He shot like 30.
Oh,
where's
he 29 of 30?
He was like 24 or 25. I heard a few games ago.
Yeah, he's only missed one, as far as I know.
Frazier is 83%.
Really?
Io is 78%. Miller is 68 somehow. I mean, my God. Curbelo 74. Brandon Lieb is 100%.
That's good.
Hawkins is 68. Grandison 95.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out how many he's taken. Go ahead.
I don't know. You want to give your predictions or you want to keep going? We do have a recruit that I guess we can talk about too.
Okay. Grandison's 22 of 23.
What's that guy's name? Reggie Bass. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I'm all for getting recruits, but I don't know about this one.
I think he'd be all right.
I just don't know where he's going to fit. Is he even going to play?
He's a guard.
Yeah, but he's.
Anyways, let's do our predictions real quick.
All right.
We can talk about Reggie Bass. I got Illinois winning. Like I said, I'm not picking Illinois to lose another game this year. So Illinois, of course, 76-68. That might be too many points. It's going to be a defensive battle. But I think that Kofi's going to have like 25.
Yeah, I got Illinois 69-62. I think that it'll be a little bit of a struggle early. I don't think they'll be down 35-6, but
I hope not.
They're going to have some trouble scoring early, probably a sloppy start if I had to guess, but eventually they can take the game over. I think they need to turn this into a track meet and just feed Kofi. And I honestly prefer that they try to go over the top with Kofi because some of these bounce passes, get knocked away pretty easily. So I don't know how Illinois is going to be able to control the game, but this is a big challenge because it's a tough 8 seed to play. And
you know what Loyola Chicago does well is offensive rebounds.
And that could kill Illinois. Yeah.
13-1 against Georgia Tech. So
Illinois was pretty shaky rebounding yesterday.
Yeah, they are. Kofi was not. I think he had 1 rebound in the first half. And what did he end up with? 6 or something?
Yeah, but you got to change the game plan. I'm sure their game plan wasn't to.
Kofi had 5 rebounds.
I think they'll put more of an emphasis on rebounding in this game than they would have last game for their game plan.
True.
But the big thing here is Porter Moser knows how to win. So you got a tough team, tough coach.
Saying Brad Underwood doesn't?
I think Underwood does, yes.
Okay.
I just know that Porter Moser's been to a Final Four. Brad Underwood hasn't. So.
True. Yeah.
And he's been to a Final Four with a much worse team than this one. I think there's 2 guys that were on that team that start for them. I think it's Krutwig and Williamson. I think we're on that team that got to the Final Four, which was 3 years ago. So I don't think they're going to have – I don't want to say this, but I'll say it. If whoever wins this game, I think I have to root for it to come out of the region.
Well, sure. Yeah, sure.
But, it better be Illinois.
Yeah.
It better be Illinois.
Better be Illinois.
I just think that it's hard to get a big run like that together. And the difference between this game is that people overlooked Loyola Chicago when they were an 11 seed. Now teams are going to look at them as a real threat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference here. Like, that was a Cinderella run. It doesn't happen 2 times in a row. So I don't expect Loyola Chicago to get to a Final Four again, even if they win this game. So just win. I mean, come on,
just
please.
Win in advance.
Get us to next week.
All right. That's all you got to do.
When is the Sweet 16? Is that Saturday? Next Saturday?
Saturday and Sunday, I think.
That feels late.
I don't know. You got a bracket right behind you.
There's no numbers on that.
Why not?
Because it's a yearly thing. I mean, there's a thing. There's a thing there for me to put the dates on there, but I didn't do it. So exactly. I got it here. 27th to 28th, yeah. And then you have 29th and 30th is the Elite Eight. Final Four, April 3rd. Boom. All right.
April Madness.
If you had any questions, put them in there.
Yeah. We'll talk about Reggie Bass a little bit.
Yeah. He's a 3-star.
Reggie Bass commits to Illinois. 3-star. He plays currently for Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Indiana. So Illinois got another Indiana person. I think he's originally from Tennessee. 6'5" shooting guard. Class of 2022 is what we're talking here. Not next year, so the year after. I've seen a lot of people say that he could easily develop into a 4-star. Right now he's 217 nationally. He had offers from Florida, Kansas State, Oregon State, Providence. Picked Illinois. From what I hear, he could be really good. They talk about how Brad Underwood likes to get guys that he sees potential in, and maybe that aren't 5 stars or 4 stars. So hopefully he works out. I'm hoping that he maybe moves up, but rankings don't mean anything. It's how you produce when you actually get to Illinois. And apparently Illinois sees another fit for a lefty shooter, because that's what they're getting, another lefty shooter. So
will Miller still be there when Bass gets there?
I don't know. I don't know how long Miller's going to be around. I think Miller probably stays till his junior year.
No, I think he'll be gone after next year when he wins Big Ten Player of the Year.
True. He could be.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to win that this year.
That was freshman of the year, and he got robbed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
he did. I'm just defending
regardless of if Miller's going to be there, that Podzimski is supposedly coming to Illinois, who is a lefty shooter. So
they're replacing Trent and Miller with 2 more lefties.
Yeah, so
bigger ones too.
Yep. And that's the thing. Illinois, they're signing 6'5" guys and taller, so it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see how he plays next year, and how he develops his senior year of high school, and we'll move forward. So
the perfect example of getting a guy that Underwood saw potential in that isn't a big time, 7-star or whatever you call him, is Georgie. He was a 2-star coming out?
I think Georgie might have been a 3, but yeah.
Still. Yeah. I mean, also look at the tournament right now.
Right.
How many, smaller mid-major school players have dominated? Like Javion Hamlet, I don't think he was a big-time recruit.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. They say this kid's good, and he's probably underranked. So, I mean, numbers don't mean anything. I assume that if Underwood's seen him play, he thinks he's good enough. So, I'm going to take the coach's insight over 247 Sports.
So Georgie was a 3-star, but he was 373rd nationally. So, he had
been good.
Let's see who Georgie had offers from. Ooh, he had 5 offers. St. Bonaventure, Manhattan, Hofstra, Minnesota. So Richard Pitino wanted him. How about that? Of course, he's gone now. So what the hell? By the way, just a quick update for people watching college hoops. Kansas is down by 8.
Yikes.
into the first half.
That's not good
Eastern
for my
Washington.
for my poll.
It's good for my bracket.
My survivor.
It's good for my bracket because I got USC going to the Sweet 16, beating Kansas to get there. So how about that? So this is a comment from Nick that says, "Is the Big Ten losing so much concerning?" I would say no.
Depends on what you think. White dude from Wisconsin.
Podziemski?
I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, he's a stud. Whatever. Great. So here's
he
how I look
won
at it.
Wisconsin. He's Mr. Wisconsin basketball.
We need one of those. We got a bunch of Mr. Illinois every year, but we need a Mr.
He's currently I don't even understand this. He's a 3-star composite, 4-star.
That's why you should look
composite.
at rivals.
I don't know.
247 is so stupid. But
Brandon Podziemski is his name.
Here's how you look at
Look
it.
him up.
Michigan State was not a better team than UCLA.
Correct.
Like UCLA had a better roster, and Michigan State blew that game. Michigan State wasn't even that good to begin with. They'd be playing today or yesterday if Oregon State and Georgetown didn't win and get in. But then you look at Ohio State, definitely a terrible loss. They ran into a team that had 2 absolute studs. They didn't play well. What can you do? Purdue, I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, North Texas is pretty good. They have good players. Good. Javion Hamlet's a stud.
That guard was really good.
But I was so into Purdue that I couldn't even think about picking North Texas. I didn't even think about that. And swing and a miss. But, it's not that concerning. I mean, it's March Madness. Anything can happen. Anything,
Yeah.
So let's steal all the Indiana kids. I agree.
I mean, so far they're getting 2. I mean, this kid plays at Reggie Bass plays at like what do they even call him? Private basketball school or whatever. So he's actually from Tennessee. Curbelo underranked. I think Curbelo was a 4-star coming out.
Yeah, I don't think he was underranked.
Yeah. Hawkins was a 3-star, but Curbelo was a 4-star.
If Curbelo could shoot, he would be underranked.
True.
But he can't shoot.
Should have Curbelo probably been a 5-star? Maybe, but I wouldn't call a 4-star.
He was 38th in the country. That's pretty good. He had 30 offers too.
Yeah. He was a huge get. So
yeah, and he should have convinced his buddy Jonathan Kuminga to come, or Zed Key. We would have gotten Zed Key. That would have been pretty nice.
Zed Key.
He's a nice player. He'd also still be playing in the tournament right now. So I guess that's all we have unless we have more questions to come in. We'll give it a minute here, but I don't know what Kansas is doing. They're down 6 with a minute to go in the first. It's not ideal. Marcus Garrett has 3 fouls.
Bill Self doesn't know how to coach in the tournament. Let's just throw it out there, guys.
You don't think the 05 team would have made it to the national championship if Bill Self was the coach? Because I agree.
I think that's a consensus among Illinois fans.
No, they probably would have won the whole thing if he was coaching, to be honest.
Maybe.
I think a big factor in the Illinois continuing to get Indiana recruits is who Indiana hires as their coach. It's going to be some random assistant, and everyone's going to be mad about it, and it'll probably end up being good. That's the route they should go, to be honest. I mean, get a big-time assistant. Hire Roger Powell.
Roger Powell. How about D. Brown?
Hire Orlando Antigua.
Let's not.
Don't do that.
Let's not.
Hire the dude from Baylor. I can't remember his name because there was 3
Baylor dude. Yeah,
there's 3 Baylor assistants. 2 of them got jobs. One of them, McCaslin, got a job in North Texas, and Mills got a job at Oral Roberts. There's a 3rd guy that hasn't gotten a job yet. Give him a job, and you'll see. Of course, it's not going to be Indiana because that's a little much. But I wonder what was the job where they said Antigua was a factor or whatever?
I think he said New Mexico.
I think it was. I can't remember.
And they got Patino, right?
Yeah. What a weird hire.
Escape that one.
Yeah, you can thank Minnesota for that.
Yep. Thank you, Minnesota.
Don't you love how everyone was talking about offense for LSU, and the game is 4-4 with 11 minutes left?
Oh, the games are behind me. I can't even watch them.
It's 7-6 now.
We'll have to end this so I can go watch them.
All right. I guess there's not going to be any questions. Everybody hates us. That's fine.
Wow.
When are we going to be back? Tuesday? Monday?
I don't know. Monday's fine.
Do you want to do it during games again? That's a little bit much.
No, we'll probably have to do it late. Well, I don't know. We can do it Tuesday.
All right. Hopefully they win,
Do you root for the big and the tourney unconditionally?
No.
Usually. I usually root for the Big Ten.
Iowa lost to Grand Canyon? Whoops.
Yeah. Was I upset Ohio State lost? Not really, but
I was rooting for Oral Roberts.
But I would rather see the Big Ten because now it's all Big Ten was overranked all year and blah blah blah. So
also people complain the Big Ten doesn't have a championship since Michigan State won. It's like, do you know how hard it is to win one? I mean, come on.
Right.
And there's been 3 or 4 years in that span where it's been probably 5 or 6 years where it's been just a random team making a huge run. UConn did that twice.
Yeah.
And Villanova had 2 really good teams that won. Kentucky's the only one that won in the last decade. And, the next Big Ten team that's going to win one is going to be this year. So you'll find out. All right. That'll do it. Who do you think they'll get as their coach at Indiana? Not Brad Stevens or anybody that the fans think. I'll tell you that.
How many times does he have to say he's not leaving?
Maybe the Celtics will fire him because they do suck.
Oh.
Let me see the latest on that. I'll look at the names that are being rumored, and I'll let you know right now what happens.
I'll let you know right this minute.
Don't you like how Penn State's entire team is in the transfer portal? Because I do. Some of these names are ridiculous. Nate Oates and Chris Beard. Shut up. Because I'm sure Nate Oates is going to leave Alabama to go to Indiana. Yeah. I'm sure Beard's going to leave Texas Tech.
Yeah. IU is the most difficult coaching job in the Power 5. IU fans are insufferable. If they aren't winning at all, they're literally crying all the time. So,
what about Mark Pope, BYU? He's done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I mean, these candidates are ridiculous. Nate Oates, no shot. Chris Beard, no shot.
I mean, I never saw Illinois getting Brad Underwood, so that came out of nowhere.
Mike Boynton, probably not. Mark Pope, maybe. Scott Drew, no. Why the hell would Scott Drew go to Indiana? Come on. After everything he's done at Baylor, what's the point? Unless they give him a ton of money. All right. We're cutting this. We'll be back on that one day.
Tuesday. When there aren't any games.
All right. We'll hopefully be talking about the Sweet 16 game, hopefully. And if not, Depression City.
We're going to be sad. It's going to be like a 3-minute podcast.
Then we'll have an 8-month off season ahead of us. Jeez. All right. Goodbye, folks.
Go Illini.
Yeah, go team. Go.